Title: The Kind Cat and the Shivering Rabbits. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by hills and trees, there lived a gentle cat named Coco. She had a soft, fluffy coat of gray fur and the kindest green eyes anyone had ever seen. Coco lived alone in a cozy little house with a warm yard full of flowers, leaves, and a small wooden hut she had built all by herself. It was winter, and the snow had fallen like a white blanket over everything. The wind blew cold, and the trees stood bare and still. Coco loved winter, but she always stayed warm by curling up near her fire with a bowl of warm milk. One chilly morning, as Coco stepped outside to stretch and check her garden, she heard a faint sound coming from the bushes. Sniff, sniff, brr. Coco's ears perked up. She tiptoed toward the sound and peeked into the bushes. There, shivering and huddled together, were two tiny rabbits. Their ears drooped from the cold, and their little tummies growled with hunger. "Oh, my whiskers," Coco gasped. "You poor little things." The rabbits looked up with wide eyes. They were scared. They had never seen a cat before. "Don't be afraid," Coco said gently, crouching down so she wouldn't look so big. "I'm not going to hurt you. My name is Coco, and I live just over there. Would you like to come to my home where it's warm?" The rabbits looked at each other, unsure. They were cold and hungry, but they didn't know if they could trust a cat. Coco saw their hesitation. "I have a warm fire and fresh carrots," she said kindly. "You don't have to stay forever, just until the snow melts." Slowly, the rabbits nodded. They didn't have many choices. Carefully, they followed Coco through the snow to her house. Inside, it was warm and cozy. The fire crackled and the room smelled like cinnamon and milk. Coco gently dried the rabbits with a soft towel and gave them warm carrot soup. Their eyes lit up with joy as they ate. "You can sleep in this basket," Coco said, placing soft blankets inside. "It's just your size." The rabbits cuddled into the basket, warmer than they had been in days. That night, they slept soundly for the first time in a long while. In the morning, Coco woke up early and made a plan. "I'll build a proper home for you two in the garden," she said. "A little burrow house, warm and safe." With her paws and a small shovel, Coco worked in the backyard. She dug carefully, built little wooden walls, and filled the house with hay and blankets. The rabbits watched from the window, their hearts full of gratitude. Days passed, and winter grew colder, but the rabbits were warm and happy. They played in the yard, helped Coco with chores, and shared stories in the evenings. They even gave each other names, Milo and Bella. One snowy afternoon, Coco found Milo looking sad. "What's the matter, dear?" she asked. "I just miss our family," Milo said quietly. "We don't know where they are." Coco gave him a warm hug with her paws. "Don't worry. When spring comes, we'll search together." And that's exactly what they did. When the snow finally melted and green grass peeked through the earth, Coco, Milo, and Bella set off into the forest. They searched high and low, asking birds and squirrels if they had seen any other rabbits. One day, deep in the forest, Bella shouted, "Look!" There, by a small stream, was a group of rabbits, shivering, just like Milo and Bella had been, and among them was someone familiar. "Mama!" cried Milo and Bella. They ran into their mother's arms. She cried tears of joy, holding them close. Coco smiled from behind. She was happy for her little friends, even though she knew they might go back to their family. "You saved them," their mother said, turning to Coco. "Thank you for your kindness." "They were cold and hungry," Coco said softly. "I just did what any friend would do." Milo and Bella looked up at her. "We don't want to leave you, Coco," Your family too. Coco's heart melted. Well then, why don't we build a bigger burrow next to my house? That way you can live with your family and visit me every day. Everyone agreed. So Coco helped build a cozy rabbit village in her garden. The rabbits came every day to play, share meals, and enjoy the warmth of friendship. And from that day on, Coco was never alone again. Even when winter returned, her house was always full of laughter, soft paws, and warm hearts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. The end.